I thought I'd miss the noise, but I don't. I do miss being needed. So that's a problem you can actually solve. But the always on reflex gets in the way. So drop the reflex now while you've still got the work scaffolding around you. And while you're dropping that reflex, why not pick up one that brings you huge joy?
Which brings us to habit number three, the one that stops you from living in the now. Most people are wired to keep looking around the corner. We're conditioned to ask, what's next, instead of enjoying what's right in front of us. And wanting to strive for new things, it's not inherently bad, but it can rob you of the joys of retirement. To fix this, it's not necessarily slowing down. Instead, it's learning how to celebrate.
It's kind of like a kid eating dinner. Well, they're already asking for dessert or looking for dessert. We see that a lot at my house. They're eating so fast to get what's next, they aren't even tasting their food. And we see this version of it constantly. People walk into retirement with a big checklist of all these things they want to do: the trip, the project, hobby, another trip, another project, another hobby they want to do. And they grind through it the same way that they grinded through their job without pausing to celebrate the milestones.
And look, we're not asking you to become a one-person party planning committee. The celebrations, they don't have to be even huge or over the top. It's about making them just 20% bigger than normal. And for some of us, that simply means stopping to acknowledge an achievement in the first place. So practice right now. Close a deal, take your spouse out and celebrate. Your kid has a birthday, do something a little extra this time around. This is kind of like that peak end rule that you talk about, based on Daniel Kahneman's research, that people remember their experiences by the highest moment and also how that moment ended. So do something to make that birthday stand out from all the others. In my family, we have a tradition. There's a book called Every Moment Holy by Douglas McKelvey. And every birthday in our family, we read a blessing from it about the person whose birthday it is. And my wife and I, we have to switch off doing this because whoever reads it cries the most. And all we're trying to do is mark the moment and say, hey, you really matter. We're so grateful for the story that's being written in your life, and that we get to not only be bystanders, but participants in it. And we get to watch you grow into who you were made to be. And this practice of gratitude, it's something to install before retirement, because retirement will only amplify whatever rhythm you already had. Dave, you've talked about this on the channel for years now.
Yeah, something we call the deathbed test. Are you going to wish that you closed one more deal? Or are you going to wish that you enjoyed the moment more? I'll tell you, every single client I've seen walk into retirement light, they had always started answering that question years before they retired. They marked their kids' college acceptance. They marked the closing of a hard project. They marked the anniversaries that weren't the round numbers. None of it was super big. They might have even marked very small moments throughout the day that brought them joy. But all of it was on purpose. The ones who arrived heavy into retirement, almost every time, they were doing it for the first time on day one in retirement. And the muscle wasn't there yet, and everything still felt overwhelming.
By the way, if you don't have a financial planner that's talking to you about this stuff, in addition to the best investment and tax strategies for retirement, we'd love to talk to you. I added a link in the description to connect with us.
So we've talked about learning to rest and celebrate and not becoming a putz. But some people take that advice and then they think it means doing this fourth habit instead. And the fourth habit to drop is optimizing every minute. The calendar blocking might have served you for the last 30 years, but bringing it into retirement can sometimes be against the whole point, right? You'll be trying to make every minute count and you might end up missing the day. It's like trying to sprint down the block for a faster time from sunrise to sunset, when really you should be riding a bike along the coast and stopping to catch some lunch and then see the sunset. And honestly, this habit is one I've watched eat the first year or few years of retirement more than any other on the list. It's that sprinter's muscle, that high achievement muscle that's all too well trained. Tim, walk them through how you frame this around Streamline.
Yeah. So here's a phrase that we use. We say we'd rather be effective than efficient. You see, they're not the same thing. Efficiency is doing things quickly. Effectiveness is doing the right thing. Here's an example. Somebody emails you a question. The efficient thing to do is choose one of those auto responses the AI is telling you and hit reply, and then boom, done, out of your inbox, out of my face. The effective thing is maybe you notice something in that message that raises a little bit of a flag, maybe not a red flag, maybe a yellow one. And instead, you decide to give them a quick call and say, hey, tell me more about that.
And the retirement parallel looks like this. The efficient Tuesday in retirement is 6 errands and a mowed lawn. And the effective Tuesday is one where you actually had the long conversation with your wife that you've been meaning to have for years.
There's a great book on this called Winning the Week by Demir and Carrie Bentley. The whole idea is that you don't have to win every day. We all have bad days, but you can almost always redeem the week. So instead of optimizing every minute, play the long game, play week to week, maybe even month to month.
And in retirement, sometimes winning the week just means being present for it. The healthiest people that I know, they ask, did the people I love feel valued this week? If the answer is yes, you've won. Now, there's one more habit to drop before retirement, and it's surprisingly the hardest for every retiree that we work with.
Habit number 5 to drop is saving without spending. If you spent 30 years optimizing for more deposits, your nervous system is going to fight every withdrawal during retirement.
Yeah, it sounds kind of crazy if you're not there yet. This is the single most common thing I hear in our conversations. We get to year 2 or year 3 of retirement, and the portfolio's way bigger than they thought it would be the day that they retired. And the math worked and things are working. And the retirees with 3 million in their accounts are acting kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge because that saver brain didn't retire when they did. It just changed jobs. That same instinct that built the nest egg is now refusing them to let it touch it. So it's not really your fault. It's really just a habit over 30 years, like all of these. But that's the hardest one that we've seen